Hello, friend. Welcome to the Daily Anchor, a short time set aside for encouragement in your day. We're so glad you've joined us. Here's Lauren Seller.
Good morning, everyone, and happy Friday. Today I want to read scripture from John 15, and I'll be reading verses 1 through 4. This is probably a familiar passage to many of you. I am the true vine, and my Father is the gardener. He cuts off every branch in me that bears no fruit, while every branch that does bear fruit he prunes, so that I will be even more fruitful. You are already clean because of the word I've spoken to you. Remain in me as I also remain in you. No branch can bear fruit by itself. It must remain in the vine. Neither can you bear fruit unless you remain in me. This verse jumped out to me, and I've heard it probably 100 times, but today the word that jumped out was source. And I know we're living in a time with, a lot of information in regards to COVID-19 and then racial inequality and injustice in the world. And a common phrase we might hear is, what's your source? We might hear, certain things that you're not contagious if you're asymptomatic. Well, what's your source? Well, it was the WHO, and then they came back and said, actually, that isn't quite right. Here's the information. Okay, what's the source? So we're all dealing with a lot of information thrown at us, and it just reminded me that the Lord is our source. Now, obviously, He's not our news source. We're not praying to reveal the news to us, but I think it's something bigger than that. I think it's, where do we find peace? What's our source for peace, hope, joy? Is it when there's a positive news story, or when cases are down, or when justice is served? Now, those are all great things, but they shouldn't be our source of joy and all of these things as followers of Christ. And so I was just thinking about it today, and I made a list of some possible things that could be your source, and that they really shouldn't be our primary source. Maybe it's acceptance, people, family, money, news and information. I know I'm guilty of this one. Social media and approval, entertainment in a time where we have more idle time. And so I just wanted to share that with God as our source. It says that we will bear fruit. And what fruit is that? I think a good list is the fruit of the Spirit. Love, joy, peace, patience, the list goes on. So I just wanted to encourage us today to have that imagery of the Lord being the vine and us being the branches, and us relying on the Lord to be our source, and to not have highs and lows that are based on something we've seen on the news or on social media, but to remain constant in the fact that the Lord is our source. So I want to pray over us today. God, we come to you and we thank you for your word that is ever true in different times of our lives, in different scenarios, in different historical moments in our world, God. And we come to you and declare you as our source. God, we have this imagery of you being the vine and us being the branches, and we want to continue to run to you for our strength, for our hope, God, for our joy. And we know that as we do that, that we'll bear fruit.
Thanks for joining. We hope to see you again tomorrow.